Poleshift alert puts up a bunch of random stuff, and this video is going to be no different. But look at this sea level rise here. You don't think Florida's going to be going the way of the dodo bird? You can see right there, just like on these future U.S. Navy maps, this area disappearing. Watch what happens to England. Europe just disappearing. Bye, England. Let's talk about light beings and other Poleshift related stuff. Here you see them manifesting blocks, hovering blocks, like in the last video, manifesting objects from the ground up.
A swirling pattern in my backyard. It's large, ever-moving points of light in roughly a ball shape.
You are a light
What is it? Oh, my love, that is...
Now, we've been discussing things that are kind of outside the Poleshift realm, but I think that it's relevant in these times that we discuss a little bit more about higher learning if we can. Apparently, the Ark of the Covenant raises people to the level of 5D, which is basically heaven. They say if you just get to 4D, you will physically pass out just on the floor, just from the knowledge you gain from moving up one-dimensional level. Let me explain to you what some of these dimensional levels are that turn you into this light being that you saw in these last photos. Now, I don't know if you take a look at this thing real closely. I think it looks just like me. You know, everybody's always looking for doppelgangers. As far as I'm concerned, that looks just like me. Hell, you can see the plasma in it. You can see the carbon. You can see that clearly that this thing could manifest itself into other things if they're able to manifest stone from the ground into majestic palaces and into pyramids, that this thing could most likely manifest itself into a container. So I think that thing's looking pretty sharp. I'd get with it all night, or at least for a couple hours. So these light beings morph in and out, and this is you when you're outside of your body, and when you're seeing all these beautiful colors and you're traveling into heaven and this and that. This is what you become after you leave this container and you go into your next plane of existence, which is 5D. Let me explain a little bit of that to you, if I can. You know, tell me this doesn't look just like the things in the Miami Mall. This is you. They say in the beginning that this is what you look like right here, that this is what you are as a light being. This man says right here that this is what you look like. Clearly, you know who your name is, sir. You know this information came off of TikTok. I'm an information sharer. I take breadcrumbs and I put them together through news stories that I see to explain to people who and what they are, where they come from, where they can go, dimensions, anything that's out of the ordinary. I try to talk about stuff that everybody else ain't talking about. So if they can levitate rock and manifest stone out of dirt, tell me that a light being can't manifest itself into a body. I believe that it clearly can. And I believe that this man's page here shows basically what this other page shows, that using these trumpets and through sound frequency, these previous architects of civilization knew how to build these pyramids with sound frequency design. They built themselves. They came right up out of the ground, just like in the previous video shows, previous Poleshift Alert episode. That right there is 5D, man. Now, I don't want you to go crazy looking at that. That right there is 5D. It boggles the mind who puts this shit together, but this apparently is when you get into this level of D, is how it works, is 1D is one straight line. And then 2D is both sides of the line. And then 3D is the shit that we're in now. This crap, this little fucking wheel. The wheel of poverty while everybody laughs at us at the top. Tells everybody what a joke we are and lies about us when they're not half the men we are. Yeah, those fuckheads. Yeah, they'll tell you all kinds of stories about who we are. You're just somebody that was pulled out of the right crotch. Live with that. So this is 5D. And I guess that's where all the money is in knowing all of this energy, vibration, and frequency crap. So when somebody tells you you're a shooting star, well, maybe they know a little bit of shit that you don't. Maybe they're onto something. Maybe they're already in 5D. Maybe they're a time traveling loser who knows a bunch of stuff and got a bunch of free money for hiding a bunch of shit from you. This apparently right here is what an interdimensional being looks like. Similar to what you look like without your body. This is a 5D interdimensional alien. 5D. I mean, just staring at it makes you friggin' crazy. What am I seeing, man? I'm tripping, bruh. Don't make me go in there. I'll never find my fucking way out. So what? So 5D's a box, and then there's parallel boxes outside the boxes. Is each level of D beyond that, and then they attack. What? Wow. So here's these sonic sound waves echoing above a church, and people captured this on video. This is sonic wave technology. This is what John F. Kennedy said. Time travel devices have no moving parts. There's no moving parts that you can travel through time with these devices. There's no moving parts that makes these things operate. With these stargates and these things, these intergalactic multidimensional aliens, which is what that is right there, can enter into our space and take on a container like a person you see standing on a street. Once something like this gets into something like you, then you're no longer you. You're something else. You're an intergalactic multidimensional alien from another level of D. Wow. That's crazy, bruh. That doesn't have anything to do with Poleshift, I'm sorry. But nevertheless, I believe that diamonds, mercury, monatomic gold are from another dimension. Aldrich Voss is the guy that documented the fall of Tartaria's ether grid. And red mercury can send and receive electromagnetic information and transmit it elsewhere, which is why it is called the messenger of the gods. Now, I believe that it was intergalactic aliens that started this planet. Apparently right here, this shows an Etheri, the first alien race to visit the Earth before the Anunnaki. Now, apparently, these guys were called the architects. Maybe these guys are the ones that built this technology the Anunnaki say they inherited from that when they got here. Earth is apparently a way station that goes to many far out galaxies, and they come here first before they go out there. And a lot of these destroyed sites used to be their airports. So, Poleshift alert.